Hello and welcome to this week's thought for the week. And this one is quite a thought-provoking where it can take you if you contemplate. What is this pointing to? What does it mean? So here it is, this week's thought for the week. Never do something permanently foolish just because you are temporarily upset. And wow, how many times do we take action from a space within us when we are angry, upset, annoyed, anxious, a million things we feel, and we take action or we do something from that space, which creates a whole load of mess that we need to clean up. And how many times do you think, how many people do you think are in prison because they have done something like this says, never do something permanently foolish just because you are temporarily upset. And you can take this in all sorts of ways, can't you? You can see there's a saying, don't cut your nose off to spite your face. That for me, when I think of that, when I see people doing things that provokes that thought in me, oh my gosh, you're doing that, you're cutting your nose off to spite your face. When I do that, when I can feel within me, I want to do something to somebody else because of something they're doing to me, or it feels that way. And when I think about it, I realise that actually I'm going to be the one who loses here big time. Even if that person loses too, it's going to make me lose as well. So yeah, there are so many places that you can go with this. See, never do something permanently foolish because of a temporary upset. And I guess it's pointing to become way more aware of your thoughts and your feelings and who you are being, where you are coming from in any given moment. Become more aware of that. And what's coming to me as I sit here, as I've moved in this direction and seen this, is a word to say that I'm saying to myself in my head: grow up. Take responsibility for your actions. Take responsibility for those moments when it really feels like you're angry or upset or annoyed or frustrated or whatever it is you're feeling towards someone else, and you want to take an action from that place. Even if that action is bad-mouthing that person, what I see as well is what we put out into the world is out in the world. Who we are being. No action, no thought, no feeling, nothing we do happens in isolation. And so to me, a part of my maturing and growing up and realizing that is seeing actually I can take far more responsibility for myself, for who I am being in any given moment than I am at the moment. And wherever I am, I see there's work to be done. There is more I can see. There is more that I can be and better that I can be in any given moment if I take the time to learn to understand and just to stop and look at the fallout, if you like, of the actions that I take. One of the things, if you know me well at all, one of the things that I do and talk about a lot is living from love, not fear. And I guess this has been the way the way that I am using the system, if you like, that I am using, asking myself, what would love do in this moment, rather than like teaching myself to stop and consider what is going to happen with any given action I take, anything I speak out into the world, bad-mouthing other people, criticising other people, talking in not a nice way, any of those things, up to actions from anger, frustration, fear, anxiety. How is that going to affect the whole, and how can I take responsibility for that and become a better person? What would love do here? What would love do? Because in all of those situations, I can see that love opens my mind to more possibilities. When I am angry or frustrated or anxious, upset, any of those things, what I see that does is it closes down what I have what I have at my disposal, if you like. It closes me down. It makes me much more self-centered, self-focused. It puts me in the middle. How, you know, what's going on for me, rather than being other focused. Love, when I open up to love, love is much more other focused. And when you think about things like flow state, if you think about flow state and what flow state is one of those times in our lives when we are so enjoying ourselves, we are so of the moment, we are so engrossed in something that I is just not present at all. And when you think about it, those are some of our finest moments, our finest hours in life, when we are in what is described as flow state, when I am not present. And yet, if we come back to this and see, you know, what are those moments when we are going to do something permanently foolish? We are about as far away from flow state as it is possible to be. And to me, asking myself the question, becoming more adept, making a commitment to asking that question, what would love do here? Love is much more of a flow state. Asking that question, what would love do? Love would consider others. Love would bring us back to the moment and have us act from a much better place from within us. So I think this is a brilliant thought for the week, to spend some time. And I invite you, you know, take all I have said and then don't stop where I've stopped, and don't necessarily believe what I've said and don't follow everything I've said. Find your own way to contemplate this thought for yourself. Never do something permanently foolish just because you are temporarily upset. The places that you can go with those two small lines, just spending the week bringing that back, considering it and noticing that where you are tempted to do something foolish in the moment, that's going to bring consequences, even if it's only internal conflict and nobody else is aware of those consequences and that conflict. Doing something foolish in a moment when you're not rooted in love, it's never going to end well. Whether it is minimum or maximum, it's not going to end well. So have some fun contemplating that. And as always, I really love to hear from you. If you look at this one, if you see this one, do drop me some comments below. Let me know how you get on. If you want to receive these to your inbox every week, there will be a link down below to sign up for that. If you want to know more about the love experiment, I can drop a link for that too. Have an amazing week, and I will see you again next week, if not before, somewhere else. Take care. Bye for now.